I was only thinking about it. Not pressing these buttons to make it happen.
Just waiting. It looks like we are up and live. Yes, we are. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us on this fine Sunday night. A Sunday that was made for Hell in a Cell. This is the Value of Wrestling podcast. I'm the big time BT Bolton, and of course, sitting alongside me, my tag team partner,
Paulus Clark.
And we're here again to give you the very best in the value of professional wrestling right here on the Value of Wrestling podcast. We thank you for joining us. We are going to go over Hell in a Cell, the pay-per-view tonight. We'll tell you our thoughts, opinions. May differ from a lot of other people out there, but we're going to get down into it. We're going to dig into it, and we're going to talk about just how we feel. But let us get our smiling faces up on the screen and get ready for you tonight. And we'll go from there. Because, anywho, Hell in a Cell. Opening thoughts.
How do you want it? How do you feel?
How do you want it? How do you need it? What you want? No?
Not going there.
Alrighty. Well, we're set up with a little bit different of a setting. We're trying different things, trying to figure out what the best setting is going to be. So enjoy us as we try this new ride. Color's a little different, but hey, I think it works. So we'll see. You tell us what you think too, because we're always open to comments, suggestions, and other things. I wish I knew how to get... Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Yes, there's the live chat, so we can look at the live chat tonight. So if you want a live chat, anybody who's watching, listening, we can see what you got to say. We've had 2 playbacks, and 1 will be our short time. Awesome. Anywho, so Hell in a Cell pre-show, gobbledygook. We had a interesting match for the 24/7 title. R-Truth versus Drew Gulak, and of course R-Truth won. I don't know what else to say. R-Truth won.
What did you expect to happen?
The Lucha House Party, Akira Tozawa came out and chased him away, and Drew Gulak got up and chased him away. It was another unfortunate moment. I don't know. I don't even know. Yes, we have multi-cameras that we're going to work with tonight and see how they play out. So, as we experiment and grow, as we've always said. So, the Value Wrestling Messiah is here.
Absolutely.
Anywho. So, from there, we go right into the pay-per-view event, and we open with the one match that I think everybody was kind of waiting for, or one match everybody was waiting to see. And it was a little disappointing to me in some ways. Well, I just, it was long. It was, 15 minutes or something? I mean, it went. It was a very long match. I guess a lot of people were saying there was storytelling. Was there storytelling? Yeah, I guess a little bit, but I just didn't feel like the way they had built this match, I didn't feel like the brutality was there, but like the oomph. In the end, yes, I sort of got it. So we had the Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, Universal title, Hell in a Cell, opening Hell in a Cell. This was the one match I thought they would put on last. This was the one match they seemed to be putting all their stake in. So I saw this match ending the show, but I was wrong. We opened with this match. It was just a very long match. I think in the end, you can say there was some decent storyline with him choking out Jimmy to get Jay to say, I quit. Through the whole show, they kept confusing us, though, because at first they were like, oh, you're out of the family. And then Paul Heyman during the pre-show came out and said, oh, he's going to be a servant if he says, I quit. I don't know. It just wasn't the match that I was anticipating. I was anticipating a little more brutality, a little more quicker of a match. It was really slow, and they just kind of chatted back and forth. It wasn't anything that I was just annoyed by the time. I mean, hell, we were both trying not to fall asleep through some of it. Ending, I'll give them a little decent. They did get something kind of there, him choking out Jimmy to get Jay to say, I quit. It was a good way to get there, so I was still wondering, like, what are they going to do to get there?
It makes me wonder if there's also going to be a third match, because it's still not Jay who's... I mean, yes, he said I quit, but did he really get beat? You know?
Yeah, now he's just subservient. So, I mean, I'm assuming this is the end of the storyline, and now we're going to have the
actual progression.
The Samoan Dynasty for now. I mean, they're going to fall in line for now until they probably get fed up and break, but I mean, it was an interesting match. It wasn't my favorite. I was disappointed in what my expectations were set for the match because of the way they've been writing this match. I was expecting some brutality, some viciousness, and I just don't feel like I got what it should have been out of it. Like, this was a match that called for blood.
For once, I actually agree. I've been calling you extreme for a little while, but I would agree with you in this case.
It was just, it was, yeah, I mean, the ending when he's choking out Jimmy, when he tricked Jimmy into that, he saw that coming. I get that, and that's the way you get Jay to say, I quit, so, that's great, but I guess now we just wait to see how it plays out, continuing forward. So.
Because we'll be forward much.
Anyways, anything else you want to talk about this match?
There's really not much to add to it. It's one of those, it is what it is, and let's see what the fallout is like, what they do to continue this storyline, whether they do fall in line, how they fall in line, and so then who's the next, up and comer to challenge Roman for the title?
Yes, no, that'll be the next interesting step as we move forward. Who will step up to take on Roman? How will Jimmy and Jay play into this new Tribal Chief storyline and some servitude? And then we had the lay ceremony at the end with Alpha and Sika giving Roman, I guess, the head of the table spot, passing of the torch in some weird way. And I guess it was a little awkward to me. I just felt bad for Alpha. I'm like, damn, he's lost a lot of weight. Looked kind of confused and lost out there. But that's me. Anywho. So then we roll into a completely wasted match, a complete waste of everything in life, why this happened, why it was there. I can't even tell. Oh, it's because Elias got hit by a car, or almost hit by a car, whatever it is, and Jeff Hardy was the guy driving the car, says Elias. So we had Elias versus Jeff Hardy. This match was... Jeff Hardy just needs... I want Jeff Hardy stale. That's my thing. I need something new from him. He either needs to go heel or re-up his gimmick in some different persona, character, drive it somewhere different.
Do something!
Yes. Elias wins with a DQ because Jeff Hardy, for some dumb reason, forgets he's in WWE and not TNA, and he hits Elias with the guitar to get disqualified. Why? I don't know. I mean, I can't even tell you why he would have hit Elias with the guitar.
It's not like they weren't in a match already where they could be hitting each other.
It was a match, and it didn't make logical sense for Jeff Hardy to hit him with the chair. So, moving on, I think. No, well, 7 minutes in. We've covered 3 matches. Awesome. So, we moved into the big match that I think people have been waiting for. Also, to see how this one played out, we had The Miz versus Otis for the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I called this one because The Miz wins. And now is Mr. Money in the Bank because Tucky, whatever his name is now, I don't know, turned on Otis. Which it was something that was in me going, I think since they separated them, which is normal WWE, we got to separate a tag team and then we got to have them feud against one another because that's how it works. So somebody had to turn heel and it wasn't going to be Otis. So this match sucked. It just wasn't...
I wouldn't say it sucked, but yeah, it wasn't all that either.
It wasn't all that. It just was, Otis did some good stuff in the beginning, but in the end, and Morrison, got kicked out, but then in the end, Tucker got...
That's what it told me. When Morrison got kicked out, that's told me, okay, maybe you're right, and Tucker's turning heel.
I just had a feeling, because they just split a tag team, and they've got to end this Otis feud with The Miz. Like, that's got to come to a head at this point. They're on different brands. It really can't continue, and so I figured at some point, they're going to have to end this feud, and I figured this is probably how they're going to do it. They're going to have Tucker turn on Otis, so they can send Otis out to fight Tucker in some, I don't know how, but they're on different brands, so I don't know what they're going to do there. So Tucker hits Otis with the briefcase as Otis was coming through the ropes, knocks him out. Miz gets a 1-2-3. Miz has the Money in the Bank contract now for the rest of the term.
Well, because Miz came to play.
Yes. And Otis afterwards, The Miz and John Morrison were coming up, and little girl named Kayla. Is it Kayla?
Oh, the interviewer?
Yeah, it was Kayla, right? Anyway, she was standing there, and she asked The Miz, how do you feel about this? And then, of course, we got the answer from Tucker, oh, I've done this for him. I've always been second best, but I'm the one that carried everything, yada, yada, yada. So promo from him. I hope, he progresses forward a little bit. I hope they put him more in like a business suit attire. He needs to look like, business suit, just a little more badass if he's going to go heel. Otis got new music, at least.
Yes.
Roman Reigns can't get new music, but Otis gets new music. Go figure.
Tells you the priority.
So we'll see. Otis is now on SmackDown. Tucker's on Raw. They're separated. They're broken up. They may feud. They may not feud. But we will surely, hopefully, find out in what's to come next. So, what came next at Hell in the Cell was Sasha and Bayley. And this was another disappointment to me. It was a decent match for the two that they had. It was in Hell in a Cell. They went back and forth. There was a lot of great storytelling, but I mean, it was disappointing in the end because Sasha won. And I'm just like, I think it's too early.
Yeah, it wasn't the time.
I don't think it's the time, the place, or the situation to give Sasha the Banks. Like, the build-up wasn't there. It just hadn't. I mean, this was their first match in this feud, and Sasha's already won the title, and it just worries me, like, how are they going to play
It's
this
not the
out?
first match in the feud, but I mean, they just had some
It's the
throwaway
first
matches.
big match in the feud. It's the first main match. First pay-per-view match in the feud. Because they lost the tag team titles, and then, that was on Raw, and then they feuded. Or was that on SmackDown? I forget. But anywho.
I'm saying they've had some short TV throwaway matches.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not, those were short little, like, they progressed the story, but didn't really feel like matches. And Sasha gets the win, which I was kind of surprised because Sasha really had been getting over on Bayley, getting on Bayley. So I figured in this match, Bayley would get the comeuppings and, walk away with the title, maybe set up something for the future. But no, Sasha wins and is now the SmackDown Women's Champion for the first time. She's first time. So I don't know if they'll progress the natural storyline that Sasha can win the belt but can't retain the belt in the big matches. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going into Survivor Series with the theory of Sasha versus Asuka and how they've been doing Survivor Series champions versus champions, which really lays a lot of interesting ground because that would give us matches like Sasha versus Asuka, not necessarily a bad match on paper. That would give us a Street Profits versus New Day. Mm-hmm. That could be an interesting, not bad on paper. At this point in time, as I know it, Lashley versus Sami Zayn. And then Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion against the winner of the match later, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. So anyway, Sasha wins with a, what is it?
Bank statement.
Yeah, the bank statement with the chair. Yes, the chair. The chair. Big deal there. It's an okay match.
I mean, I at least got to give the ending credit. Watching Sasha stomp the chair leg to continue the bank statement, just like, you are tapping out. Do you understand?
Yes. No, it was good there. But it was just the wrong time for Sasha to go over. Not that I don't love Sasha and want to see Sasha as a champion. It's just not. Don't feel it's the time or the place or the right pay-per-view.
Well, in her mind, she is the champion.
Well, she is the champion, so I mean, she's good to go, and she came to play too. And that is that. I don't know what else to say. It was an okay match, and nothing really to write home about. But it was probably the higher end of the pay-per-view out of everything else we saw.
It's sad when we're making comments though during the pay-per-view on how it was more brutal between Sasha and Bayley than it was.
Oh no shit. No shit.
Between,
like they were more violent
Uso and Roman.
Yeah, I know. Anywho, so that moves us into the match that was a challenge from the earlier night because Retribution finally makes a pay-per-view appearance.
Holy snap! Holy snap!
So earlier in the pay-per-view or on the pre-show, maybe it was Mustafa Ali came out and challenged the Hurt Business and told them to pick one person and they get to pick who they face. And so later in the night, we got Kayla with the Hurt Business talking to MVP, the CEO, of course, the United States Champion Bobby Lashley is going to be the one to compete. And first they talk about T-Bar was Cedric Alexander's choice, and then Shelton Benjamin said the other one was the Goofy Mask or something.
Slapjack.
Yeah, well, they did say Slapjack at first. Remember he said, oh, the one in the Kooky Mask or whatever it was. And they're like, oh, Slapjack. So we got Slapjack.
Slapnut.
Going against Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship match. And this was just a shame because I'm like, why? Why would you even do that? And why would Slapjack? I get why the Hurt Business told Slapjack, but I mean, it's still like, Poor Shane Thorne. Poor all of them, really, but Jesus Christ. Retribution takes another out. And a solo match. They get in the ring, they beat down, and the rest of the Hurt Business comes down. That ends that crap. They're just the biggest joke in professional wrestling, and Ali's still trying to shoot serious promos about it, but it's like, you guys were tearing everything up for months and months and months. Now you got contracts, and all you've done is taken the L.
I don't know, they really know how to work that L.
Yeah, they know how to work it. They got contracts so they can get L's. We're here to get revenge or retribution, but yeah, we're gonna take the L. Yeah, no, I don't even know what to tell you on that. That's a whole new scenario. Anyway. It's what it is. Where are we? Oh, yes. So we had that, and that was just a joke of a match, really. And then we got to the last match of the night, which I don't know why this was the last match of the night. I don't know. Didn't do anything. I was half expecting the Miz to come cash in the title or cash in the Money in the Bank to end this, but in the end, we have the Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defending his title against Randy Orton for the third time. And I said before the event, Randy Orton would have to win because it would be. I don't see what he can do with another L to Drew McIntyre. Like, at the end of the day, Randy Orton's lost twice to him on pay-per-view. If he didn't win here, it would really kind of hurt Randy Orton.
He could be humbled.
Well, you wish. But anyways, this match, back and forth, sort of okay. Not the best. The ending was kind of back and forth. They crawled out the cage. They climbed to the top of the cage, which I knew we were getting to a point where somebody was going to climb up on top of the cage. And Drew McIntyre took a horrible fall. It wasn't even a horrible fall, per se. It just, when he got knocked off the cage, he twisted and fell instead of falling straight back. So it just looked bad. It looked really bad. And
hopefully it looked worse than it was, though. But that's just, me caring about the safety of the performers.
He did bleed from the mouth, which I think was a capsule. But in the end, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton go back in the ring. They're trying to wrestle around. Do not mind the noise outside. The dog's trying to crawl through a window. Don't ask me why. It's just how it goes. Anywho. In the end, Randy Orton gets the RKO in the 1, 2, 3 and is now a 14-time tied with Triple H World Champion. And that's it. So, what we're expecting is Randy Orton versus Edge at WrestleMania.
God, I hope not.
Well, the way the words are.
Let me rephrase that. I hope not for the title. I'm good with the match.
No, they can do it for the match, but I mean, if we're thinking this way, if the story's going to be written from everything we read, Randy Orton's going to be world champion going into WrestleMania. Edge is going to win the Royal Rumble, which just doesn't seem like they've done this before. That's the only thing that hurts me. It's like, okay, Edge could win the Royal Rumble, sure, but they did it before. He was injured, came back, won the Royal Rumble. I'm like, he's injured, he's coming back, he's going to win the Royal Rumble? Why? And the Royal Rumble is supposed to be so spectacular. It's supposed to get somebody else over. And really, it should be Big E winning the Royal Rumble, but I don't know if Big E's there yet. They're still not just getting him. It's a slow burn, which is okay, but...
No, that's not just a slow burn. This is a molasses burn.
Oh, I know. So, we know Randy Orton's a new champion. I'm hoping this is the end of it, but Drew McIntyre's out a rematch. Hopefully they'll do that tomorrow night. Squash that, and be done with it and move on. Unless Edge returns early. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Survivor Series, we're hoping it's going to be title versus title, so now you're going to have Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. So you're going to have two heels? That's interesting. That would be really interesting. Maybe they're not going to do that. Maybe we'll go back to a traditional Survivor Series this year. Because
maybe
none of the matches are going to make sense. Because if you do title versus title, Asuka and Sasha Banks, okay, that one makes sense.
First of all, it's champion versus champion, but they don't usually put the titles on the line.
Well, I know, yeah. Well, champion versus champion. So you have Asuka versus Sasha Banks. You have Street Profits versus New Day. Those two make sense. Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn.
I can see it.
I can see it, but it doesn't make sense in paper. They're both heels. Like, it doesn't, you could kind of...
Who doesn't want to whoop Sami Zayn?
And then you're going to have Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Like, we haven't seen that before. So that makes me wonder if they're even going to do that this year, because I don't think they want to put Roman versus Randy in the main event world champion versus universal champion. I don't think that puts people in the seats.
No.
So unless Randy's going to lose the title between now and then, doubt it. But maybe they'll go back to a traditional Survivor Series, which we need. We really need a traditional Survivor Series. That's what I miss more than anything. A good traditional Survivor Series match, 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, doesn't matter. But let's make it happen. Let's go back to the old school way of doing it, because you already got the Hurt Business probably going to take on Retribution again for the 18th time their time, and Retribution will probably get eliminated, or they'll finally get their big W there, but they're already a joke. And you can have Roman and the Usos and whoever their fourth member is to tag up against whoever else they want to, go against. So, I mean, yeah, you could definitely build into that. You can continue some storylines, but I'd like to see a traditional Survivor Series this year. I don't want to see Roman versus Orton, or Roman versus Orton. Yeah, I got that right the first time. Anywho, it is 20 minutes in, and we're kind of just here. People can't find stuff.
Run.
I can't make it any easier for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Value of Wrestling podcast on YouTube. The title is our show name, our program name is The Value of Wrestling. You go into YouTube, you put The Value of Wrestling, we should come up as far as I know. I've seen it, I've tried it, so if you can't find it, I don't know what to say. So, then nobody's wanting to chat, so it makes it interesting. We need more viewers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. I can talk, I swear. And that way you're notified when we come live after major pay-per-view events. I wish we could watch some stuff on TV and then talk to you guys about it, but since we'll get dinged.
Well, what you do is you put it on mute and you put
the subtitles on. So you're hearing news about your boys with the United Wrestling Network? Nothing. Cricket.
They have some kind of world title thing going on.
I haven't even paid attention since we stopped that crap.
I still read the headlines even if I don't, watch them.
Yeah. I get it. There's not a lot to talk about that I can think of that's wrestling related.
Oh. You know who the new Impact World Champion is?
Who? Rich Swann? Did he win? Did he
Rich
beat
Swann
Eric?
is the Impact Wrestling World. Like, really?
It's TNA. Oh, I mean, it's Impact. My bad. Sorry, Anthem. Impact Wrestling. TNA died. Anywho. Alrighty. Cool. Welcome. You can Oh. Hi. Jenny says hi. Finally, somebody chats to us.
Finally!
Subscribe.
Someone has come on to the chat.
Yeah, you should share this with everybody. You should, tell everybody else to join us. You can bring V into the conversation. Why not?
Like she would have anything to say.
Why are you guys still talking about wrestling? Wrestling's like, what? You guys never grow up.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a WWE kid.
Can't be a Toys R Us kid anymore. They shut them all down on us. Isn't that a boots thing to do? So we have Rich Swann as the Impact World Champion. How the hell did that happen?
Just because they want to put him in the storyline with Eric Young.
Jesus. Well, you know who's back in Impact also? James Storm.
Well, at least it was a one-off. We don't know if he's back.
I hope it's a one-off. I'm kind of wanting to see him in the WWE. I want to see what they can do with him, hopefully. James Storm, Daivari, Swoggle, and others return to Impact at Bound for Glory. I hadn't really paid any attention to what was going on in Bound for Glory.
I only watched the highlights.
Okay, I will. Uh-oh, she's laughing. Dun, dun, dun.
Look at what you're trying to manifest up in here.
Oh, that's right. Dwayne Johnson also inducted Ken Shamrock into the Impact Hall of Fame.
Via video.
Yes. Let's see. Shamrock was inducted into the Hall of Fame by his old WWF rival, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Bret the Hitman Hart, Mick Foley, and I don't know, Charles Solen? I don't know who that is.
Just another crazy booch.
Yeah, they weren't the only surprise, as the Collier Gauntlet had not announced several of its participants in advance. 3 former Impact Wrestling stars made their return in the match, including former World and Tag Team Champion James Storm, Daivari, a.k.a. Sheikh Abdullah Bashir, and Swoggle, a.k.a. Hornswoggle, as everybody should know him.
But
yet it's unknown whether they have signed contracts or if this was one-off deals. And I know WWE has interest in James Storm. They were supposed to bring him in around Rumble, but he missed the call or didn't get the message or whatever it was he said. And then they got together, and then they were going to bring him in after WrestleMania, and then COVID hit. So now it's just kind of flawed.
Let's see what happens. Keep following James Storm to see what he will do next.
Yes. So James Storm had revealed recently that WWE actually wanted him to sign him to a contract earlier this year, but the coronavirus pandemic derailed those plans. The Cowboy recently appeared on Busted Open Radio, where he talked about things like his previous WWE appearance, being a veteran in the wrestling world, and more. And during an interview, Storm provided some details on the talk he has had with WWE and revealed that the role the company wanted him to play upon his signing. I think they wanted me to come in and work with the younger talent on Raw and SmackDown. They were basically saying, with your personality and stuff like that, I know I've gotten over no matter what. I can work with anybody and still make myself get over. As you say, you can go over, you can get over as well. When asked about the current wrestling storyline, James Storm says that he really enjoys ongoing storyline with The New Day. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, no, he actually said they had called him like around Rumble and he didn't get the message and to get back to them in time. And so that's how that kind of wound up. Anywho, so maybe he'll be back in WWE. Hopefully this is a one-off in Impact, because I don't know what else he could do in Impact. I don't know what to do with the titles over there. And NWA, isn't he the NWA Tag Champion? Like, with that.
Last I saw, I haven't heard of them giving up the titles yet.
Yeah.
So, I have no clue what's going on.
No. Interesting times. I'm just trying to spend this out. Anywho, so tonight was Hell in a Cell. Halloween Havoc for NXT is coming up.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, so it's going to be on the normal NXT thing. Okay. I thought they were doing it like Saturday or something. But no, it's just going to be a normal.
Yeah, it's just going to be, a super special. Yeah. You know how they like to try to counter program.
Yeah, true. They got to counter AEW. AEW is coming along a little better. Still not all together, but
AEW.
We will see over time. I heard Cody and Orange Cassidy had a great match, so I have to go back and watch that. I really haven't had a chance to watch AEW this week. Been a busy week, so this week's going to be busy too. So,
especially when we get to the weekend, that's where Halloween is.
Where is the subscribe button? The subscribe button should be like down here. I don't know where you're watching it on. That's the other thing.
It depends if you're watching it on your phone, if you're watching it on the laptop. You know what the deal is.
So if you're watching on your phone and you go to YouTube. Oops, I don't know what camera I'm on no more.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, which one are you?
Is this one? Nope, it's that one. See? Okay. Let's go to a video.
You're getting a free how-to on top of a wrestling podcast.
Yeah. Ain't I great? Anywho, let's see here. Home. I need to go to my notifications. No, library. Who do I want to go to? I want to go to subscriptions, right?
Maybe.
I'm going to scroll through. Oh, crap. I'll just look it up the old-fashioned way. So, I'm going to go to Value Wrestling on YouTube. Oh, your phone. Okay, she's on her phone. So, you see where our video is here, right? Yep. I'm going to click on that. And... Oh, this is all video. This is the Value of Wrestling podcast. We welcome you back. That wasn't what I wanted. Here's our live video. Okay, so you should be any minute. We're probably going to get some feedback. Here's our live video. Okay, so you should be any minute. Okay, so you're looking... Oh, crap. I always screw stuff up. Open back up. So there's an... You're in the chat, right? So if you go to the chat up there at top... Damn it, I can't open the chat.
If you go left, right, up, down, west, right, north, south.
So up here on your chat, there should be an X. Once you X that out, it should bring us...
It should.
No, that's an old video. Why am I on an old video again? We go back to the live. Should bring us. Okay, so you're looking at this screen right here, right? Where there's chat. Up here is an X. Over here, there's an X. Now you're going to hit the X. And then you should see this screen. Can you see? Oh, she found it. Never mind. But you can give us a thumbs up and a share. And now we're getting horrible feedback, so let me just mute my phone real quick and we're good. There we go. And you can hit share. No, I don't want that open. And you can go back in here. Open up. And yeah, you see the subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And you're all set.
Until the next episode.
I found it in the subscribe. Yep, I'm a little slow. Forgive me. To the next episode. Anyhow.
Just be careful with the blonde eye. Just be careful.
That is where we're at. I don't know what else to say. We're kind of ran the gamut. We're kind of getting close to 8 o'clock. We've gone a good 30 minutes. I think we've covered everything for this episode. I don't know what else to talk about.
That part is we probably could have done this in about 10, 15 minutes.
I know, it's sad. It really is sad. I'm trying to send it out so at least we get content out there. I mean, maybe 10, 15 minutes, what everybody wants to watch. I don't know.
Actually, it's a pretty popular time range.
No, I get that. But it's, but a lot of wrestling podcasts go a lot longer.
Doesn't mean we have to.
No, I know. I like the 30-minute mark. I think.
Would you do everything? If Jimmy jumped off a bridge.
Don't do that. Anywho. Oh, we have 6 people who played it back, so I don't know if that's the same person or whatnot. Anyways, I guess that kind of wraps up here. There's nothing else for us to talk about, discuss, or go over right now, so we thank you for joining us right here on the Value Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, ring that bell for notifications, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, leave a comment if you're watching this after our live feed, and we thank you.
We appreciate you, and we'll see you next episode.